Hey, this is Roger Thunderhands Gilbert, and my friends call me Thunder. I want to get right into this topic today about, are the NSA leaks a secret plan? I want to take this step by step. Now, number one, everybody and his brother that knew anything at all already knew that the NSA had huge offices and huge facilities and computer banks, and pretty much everybody that I knew in the last, say 3-4 years has been talking about, oh yeah, the NSA, they hear everything. Of course, it was all talk just then. There was no proof of this actually happening. But then all of a sudden somebody pops up that says, hey, I worked for the NSA and I'm going to reveal all kinds of information about what they do to you people. Now, I'm not saying that Snowden isn't real or that, some other people aren't real and that this thing was all planned. However, when you think about the mentality of the people that run this country, anything is possible. So you don't want to rule out anything and you don't want to rule in anything. You want to think for yourself. But if you think about it, all of a sudden, this guy appears out of nowhere and says, I'm leaking for the NSA, or I have this information, I'm a whistleblower, and that's good. And you know what? If that's true, I am all for Snowden because he is a true patriot. So it's either true or it isn't true, and we don't know. We don't really know if it's true or not. We have no way of knowing. We're not CIA, we're not Intel, so we don't have a way of knowing whether this whole thing is staged or whether it's, real. Now, some questions I do have about this whole thing are, number one, why are they acting so ridiculous? I mean, it's all out front ridiculousness by the government, by our government and by other governments. I mean, it seems like they're going on some type of feeding frenzy, like like shark-infested waters, going after people, stopping people at airports, raiding offices of noted periodicals like the Guardian. All this stuff happening, all journalists being attacked all over the place. Oh, this is for national security. This is for terrorism. Yeah, right. If it's for terrorism, I got some swampland down in Florida you might be interested in. Now, the thing is, this could be an entirely huge psychological false flag, deception, in order to get the people upset. That's the point I'm trying to make here, is that it's possible strategically that this is an action that is started, and even if Snowden, let's say Snowden is real, they'll use that situation for this very agenda that I'm talking about here. And the agenda is push people in a corner, make them fearful, make them so fearful that they get angry, because anger and fear are two sides of the same coin. So if you get fearful, you're going to get angry, and if you get angry, you're going to get fearful. Anyway, they're killing two birds with one stone. It's like that old saying, and they're going to use it to the hilt. They're going to use it to their benefit, or they created it in the first place. I have questions about, well, where's Snowden now? Why haven't we heard anything about where he is, what he's doing, all that type of thing? And other questions I have about the whole Snowden incident are these. And I want you to think about this, because you've watched plenty of movies and you know what's possible. Now, let's say Snowden really wanted to get asylum in one of these countries that have offered him asylum, one of these Latin American countries. Let's say he really wanted to get asylum there. Now, what would prevent him from, and what would prevent Russia in helping him in this? Let's say getting a dummy passport, like a Russian passport, which the Russians could easily do, since they could make him a citizen of their country or make it look like he is a citizen. Then with extensive makeup or whatever, make him look like an old man. Make him look like he's 60, 70 years old, man. A beard, put a beard on him, change his fingerprints. That's easily done. All this stuff is easily done. And then just have him fly out on that passport to wherever he wanted to go. I mean, there's a million ways you can get to a destination without even a slow boat to China, a freighter, I mean, anything. It's done all the time. So you wonder about stuff like this. And it makes you wonder, is this all staged? Is this just to get people upset about that the government might be spying on them and to push them in a corner and to cause a rebellion? And if a rebellion is caused by this, if the people rise up, then that'll give them a perfect excuse to declare martial law, right? I mean, that's one thought. That's just one thought about it. Now, the other thought about it is maybe it's just a fear tactic to reinforce the terrorism thing and to get everybody back into that mode, like right after 9/11. And trust me, I mean, you can call me anything you want, a conspiracy theorist, but I am a pilot, and I know that 9/11, you don't fly one of those large aircraft like a 767 that precisely into a building unless you really know what you're doing. Because you have to be able to manage flight systems and flight controls. I mean, I am a pilot, I know. And I've flown over 450 different aircraft. And those buildings came down like they were in a controlled demolition. I mean, that, to me, there's no question about it. It was either, engineered by somebody else and allowed, or engineered by our own country, which isn't far-fetched. I'm sorry. Look at what's happening now. So what's to say that if they can do that, or anything else for that matter, why couldn't they be engineering something to precede, an event that they're going to lay on us? So I wonder about, all these NSA leaks, which we again, we knew about already a long time ago. All of us, those of us who are awake knew about it. So what's the deal? I mean, what's this all about? And again, I really want to emphasize these incidents that have been happening, like at the Guardian and with Greenwald's supposed partner, lover, whatever you want to call them, and some of the other things that have been happening, the journalists that have been attacking, the Michael Hastings thing, all this stuff. Oh, we're so scared, aren't we? Because they want us to be scared. They want us to be like scared rabbits. They want us to not even post things that we would post on social sites. They want to clamp down. Why do they want to clamp down? What's their plan? What's behind this? Control, people. Absolute control. And I have no doubt that they can listen on the NSA, and they've been collecting data. But why are they, coming right out front with it now and throwing it in our face? That's the point. They want to throw it in our face. Now, does that sound like somebody that is smart enough to conduct covert operations all over the world to all of a sudden throw just everything in our face. They want us to get used to being controlled. They want us to accept the idea that we need to be controlled because of the terrorist threat. And there is no terrorist threat, like I said before. It's all made up. So people, you need to wake up, smell the coffee, and realize that strategy is a artful thing. I mean, you read Sun Tzu's Art of War, an ancient writer, Chinese writer, who wrote on the art of war. You read Musashi's The Book of Five Rings. You read the Spec Ops Unconventional Warfare Manual. Your eyes will open. I mean, I'm like an Apache warrior. I try to look at the sign. I try to look beyond the sign. I try to tune into what is unseen, what's not seen. Because if you look at just what's seen, you're missing the whole unseen picture. You're missing the whole thing behind what they really got planned. And I assume since this stuff is ramping up with all this stuff around the world, and there's just too much stuff to talk about, but this out front flagrant violation of human rights and all of this stuff is just, it's off the deep end. If you grew up in this country, you realize, and I don't care whether you're Native American or black or white, or if you grew up in this country, you see that this is science fiction stuff. It's off the deep end, period. End of story. No question about it. So something is going on and something is coming, and I don't know when it's going to come or how it's going to come or whether it's going to infiltrate slowly, because they're masters at this game. It's a chess game, or it's like the game of Go in Japan. Strategic moves, people. Strategic moves to put you under subjugation. Don't fall for it. Do something about it now. Think for yourself. Because you know what? I'm tired of seeing these imbecile jerks that call themselves leaders scaring the hell out of my fellow man and ruining the planet. It's just getting old, isn't it? And so let's do something about it. I mean, remember the 60s? Remember the millions of people? And we got the anniversary of the civil rights thing coming up, all those people. Hey, in the 60s, I laid my butt on the line. I don't see too many of the younger generation doing that today, and that's troubling. And last but not least, I see all these people on the alternative media, and some of them are cool, but most of them are in it for, like, you know, they either got a sponsor for gold or whatever. But they're saying, oh yeah, you know, all this stuff's coming down, all this and that, and that's happening, and all this stuff's happening, and get ready, and blah, blah, blah. Hey, quit talking. Tell us what to do. Tell people what to do. Tell people to get off their asses and do something. Okay, that's my rant for the day, but it's some food for thought. I would think about it if I were you. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye now and adios and all that good stuff, but as I'm leaving here, I want to show you my website, spiritofcrazyhorse.com right here, www.spiritofcrazyhorse, all one word.com. You can scroll around and look at my books. I am an award-winning author, Listen to the Wind, Speak from the Heart. And I got a donation button here, and I do seminars. You can click on here and check out the seminars. And I do some shows on Blog Talk Radio, but I'm kind of reproducing those now and putting them on YouTube. Please donate, because look, I need to get the word out, and if you can, you know, do it. You know, $5, whatever you can throw at me, I appreciate. So this is Thunderhands. Blessings to you all, and I want you to think about what I said today. It was short and sweet, but hey, you know what? Sometimes good things come in small packages. Adios.